You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
I've heard now that it's called ghosting.
Yes. Ponytail, sideburns, World of Warcraft playing hole. And we were laughing because you
literally like talking about like the worst part of my life. There it is. Heyo.
I know your worst
Before we
job.
get
Wasn't
before
your
we
only
get
customer your mom?
Welcome to Saturday Night Bite 3, the triple.
3D.
I'm John. I'm here with Lance.
Hello, John.
Hello, Lance. We're here again on a Saturday night up in my apartment.
Yep.
Bite Studios 2.0. We're going to call it now. It's a little bit less. Would you say that the original Bite Studios was... I was going to say it's less lavish, but I feel like the original Bite Studios was really bad, so...
You feel like it was, or... You know, let me tell you about the original Bite Studios.
Sure. Let's hear it.
This was a room that was vacated.
Hastily. No, not really hastily. You left his shit there for a long
Person
time.
left, and suddenly a room was vacated, and we put a folding chairs and card table and everything in there. That's not what was wrong with that room. What was wrong with that room was that we were all smoking the shittiest cigarettes in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That was what was wrong with that room. And acting like we were cool. And we were smoking like these Camel menthols. Lights. And
the dainties.
in the vacant room with the it's your idea to put like a Lion King fucking blanket on one of the fucking
multiple
walls.
Lion King blankets on the walls. Well, that was to dampen the sound. And it actually did sound better with them. We don't need it here. Do you know why we don't need it here? Because there's a lot of space.
Okay.
So we don't get echoes.
Grand expanse of
Correct.
your
It
loft.
actually would probably sound better if I started putting blankets up around, but
I
since we're
don't
in a
know if
loft-
that would matter. You're right. I think you're right.
it's because there's so much room for the noise to go that it doesn't bounce back and forth. It bounces and goes down there. It's the thing when like someone's watching TV down
And
there. It
we-
rockets
we're
up
in
here.
A 8x10
Yeah.
room with smoke and Coors cans popping left and right.
Oh yeah.
And
It was
even though
debaucherous.
the content of those episodes was sterling,
yes.
the actual memory of being in that room is less so.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a different time for all of us, you know.
I feel like we were like it was you and me at that point, right?
And Mercury,
Okay.
aka Tyler, when he was on the show, but he's now known as
How
Mercury.
did Mercury come about? Anyway,
That's his burlesque name.
Mercury came on after a little bit.
Yeah.
For
He
what
was
I'm
on for a
remembering was a couple months of just you and me in that room.
Well, you forced him to leave.
You know what?
You did not force him to leave.
And that situation, I just want to be totally upfront with that.
Sure.
I have no hard feelings towards Mercury at all. I was like pretty at a point where I'd never had. Okay, here's the thing. I was pushing.
Grab the shovel here and start digging yourself.
No.
Okay,
I'm gonna
no.
be totally honest here.
Okay, brutally.
No, not like in a bad way though.
Sure.
I pushed him and fucked with him a lot.
I want to let you know, and this is what I explained.
And he'll probably give this sound clip to Mercury so that he kind of like maybe that'll make him feel better.
That is one thing that I will say, and this is what I told him. And I was like, Lance and I and Adam and all the friends that we went to high school with and stuff kind of have a special relationship in the way that we talk to each other, that basically all we do is bust each other's balls all the time. And so like basically you were an easy target because you didn't really fight back a lot. you know? And so, like, because
because he was new also.
Yes, because if I said something to Lance would just, you know, throw him back at me and we'd be like, haha. Whereas, like, you would throw something at Mercury and he would be like, well, you can't insult me this way. And you're like, oh boy. And now it's like piling on. And he just could pile on because
But instead of, and this isn't a criticism, this is a recounting
of
the events.
He talks, you know.
What happened was,
yeah. You called me.
I digged at him a number of times until he didn't know what to do anymore. And then after one of the podcasts, a blow up occurred.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that was not his fault.
No.
Because it was, as you said, one of those things where okay, let me put it this way.
Just different personalities.
Let me put it this way. It's not even that. Let me put it this way.
Sure.
Because I've thought about this a couple times and it didn't have anything to do with that situation.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just going to make this statement.
Okay.
And let the chips fall where they may.
Okay, that's a good thing. And nothing bad has ever been said after someone has said that. Okay.
And maybe this is because I've heard the perspective that it's possibly because I'm shallow, but I don't think that's quite right. Here's the idea. There's nothing anybody can say to me hurtful that really means anything to me anymore.
No, I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
100% the right way, or the exact same way. Like
that's what I'm saying,
and that's just the way that we were brought up. That's the way our school worked. That's the way I was. Like you and me, both. We were big guys in high school. You know,
that may be part of it too.
But I mean, we got picked. At least personally, I got picked on a lot because of that. And so, like, I just built up I don't fucking care. Like, and by the time I got to like high school, I was just like, fucking, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't bother me anymore.
Well, in high school, I still definitely was pretty sensitive. But all those years, you acted like you weren't.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah, for sure.
But you were. And then you get, you know, and you have your situation where...
Well, about my junior, senior year, I started to, like, kind of be like, I don't give a shit.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I'm going to be going...
You didn't care, but when do you really stop fucking caring? Like, when did that happen?
Oh, my sophomore year of college.
That's what I'm talking
100%.
about. 100%. That's what I'm talking about.
When I went down my ponytail, sideburns, World of Warcraft playing hole... Where I never left my apartment.
What, though?
I just gave up.
Even though you didn't... Here's the thing, though. You were even, like, cool then, though. Because...
I remember... I was the cool RA, because I let people...
I was more of your brother's friend than your friend.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then you were, like, ponytail...
That was when we first started hanging out.
Fuck guy.
Maybe that's why
I was
cool.
like... Hey, this guy's kind of cool.
I was cool because I didn't care how uncool I looked.
You started to not like, and then you were showing me Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing.
God, that fucking remember you come over to my dorm all the time.
Yeah,
that was a fun dorm room because we
had so much fun there. I feel like it, and maybe I don't know if this is like maybe here's my thought on that college dorm situation, and this is an outsider's perspective.
Sure.
I feel as though like I didn't drink until I was 21.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the people there...
Here, basically. I had a couple beers when I was like in France and stuff
tasted
on trips. But
awful.
Like, never
it.
like, oh, I'm going to get wasted. It was like, oh, we're at a club now, so I can drink because I'm 14. And in France, you can do that, apparently. But...
But I just like everybody I didn't relate to the people I bumped into at Edgewood when I went to visit you.
Yeah.
They were in different, something else was going on with them. And I don't know, maybe that doesn't have to do with drinking at all. Maybe it does a little bit. But I just remember that was just a golden age of watching and being enlightened of anime, but the best anime ever, like the Beatles of anime.
Oh,
I mean, it's fucking.
I agree with you.
Greatest
is that the like the stuff we watched is like probably still thought of as some of the best. Like Cowboy Bebop, particularly, is probably like I've never seen an anime. I want to know like what a really good anime is. That's it. Like it's just if you're into like westerns and stuff and like sci-fi.
And
if you're not into action, maybe something else would be better. But if you're into action movies, that's the one you want to see.
And ultimately, like I know this is very long-winded type of thing here, but I want to bring it all back to the original point. And and I'm not going to apologize because like it was I'm just not gonna. But at the same time,
it was so long ago. You know
well, I mean? It's not. It's one of those things where nobody was right. That's why I'm not going to apologize.
Fair enough.
I wasn't right, and he wasn't right. And the reason the blow up occurred, which was that you were talking about, was that the reason it happened was basically like that we were in the Midwest. Yeah. And we're all used to this like passive aggressive fucking like ripping on each other shit all the time.
For sure.
But it gets on another level when years pass amongst friends.
Yeah.
It ends up escalating, but not escalating in a bad way, but escalating in depth. And what happened, in my opinion, was a person came in and rolled with it, and I didn't adjust that depth to that person. And then we finished an episode and I got screamed at in my face. And then that was another thing where I don't
think I was present for that.
You were there.
I was there?
You were there.
I was there?
And you know what the thing is? I was cool with it when it happened in the moment.
I remember. It was off air. You're right.
I was cool with it in the moment. Afterwards, I felt like I couldn't, like, how do I go back, though? Because then I felt like I was going to be, like,
no, I understand
attacked or something.
No, you're right. Like, I don't know what the line is now. Like, if I'm going to say something, get yelled at again, I don't want to be in that environment. That's understandable. I mean...
And I had a hard time. I think I fucking, like... And ultimately, like, I probably didn't do the best job expressing why I left the show. But that was it. That was, episode Nightbite 3. Now we're finally talking about it. That was basically why I left, because I didn't know what to do anymore. I was like confused. I didn't want to fight anybody. I thought I was ready to do it, but at the same time, here's the real thing about the Nightbite or the podcast.
Sure.
This is a relief to me.
Yeah.
To come in and talk some shit and have a good time.
Yeah.
And suddenly, after that, there was 5 days until it happened again, and I was like dreading the day. And then I was like getting like my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
That was what it was. And it broke my heart to tell you to do that because I love doing it.
Yeah.
But and I didn't know how to express it at the time, but that's kind of what happened and it's nobody's fault. It's not Mercury's fault. It's maybe partially between and nobody needs to apologize to anybody over this. It was just one of those things where like basically, and I think it's because you're both like younger and just kind of you just lash out sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't blame anybody. I don't need an apology. I'm not going to give an apology. That's what happened though, basically, like, and I kind of like shook a little bit though after that because I was like, I don't know, there's something about like somebody shouting right in your face. I've never had that happen to me before. And if it happened on the air, it would have been like fine. I think it would have worked if it happened on the air.
Oh man, I remember as the episode ended, it was very tense. I remember, and I was just like, I don't even remember what it is. We'd have to find someone would have to go back and find that one because it's probably the last one that Tyler was on.
And
Or
me.
Mercury, sorry. And you. Together. Yeah.
I don't even know what you did on the show after that.
Well, you came back. I made you come back. It was
Okay.
just you and me
Okay.
for a little while. And then you didn't want to do it anymore because it was a lot of effort to come out every single week, which I understand. And
Well, you know, I had other things going on too.
no, for sure. Like it's tough, and it's even tough to get a weekly with the show we do for the internet now. But it's
I don't want to put all this on Mercury because I will say this much. Like, and I know, like, we're not getting heavy or anything. We're going to talk about some fun shit in a little bit here. Chill out a little bit, you know.
There's a little inside.
I'm going to
bite,
say this, though.
inside bite ball.
Well, I know we kind of, like, skipped this whole thing when we restarted it.
Oh yeah.
And it was with a purpose because I didn't want to talk about it. And now I feel like a little bit more
We'll have it done.
comfortable talking about
Yeah.
it. So let's get it out there. I want to say that at the time, I my and I don't want to be like how do you say this? I don't want to be so self-absorbed, but at
Sure.
the same time, my entire life was like just in free fall at that point. Not being like an emotional person who says these type of things. I weighed 130 pounds more than what I do now at that point.
Yeah.
That was the reason I needed to step away
So
was
wait,
because
excuse me. Whoa.
I
Are you
needed-
saying that I was the bad influence here? You need to get
No,
away
no,
from.
no, no,
you
no.
need to clear away from John and get yourself right.
Get away from you and your Canadian pizzas. No.
Canadian pizza.
What? You get this Canadian bacon? Or...
Oh, Canadian
I'm
bacon
sorry.
pizza. I have like Canadian pizza. Is that
No.
okay?
The thing was that I went away from everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
sure.
didn't talk to my family. I didn't talk to my friends, and I fucking like went away
Yeah.
after that.
We talked a little bit, like over email and stuff, but like,
Right. I kept,
On the
you know,
phone.
we did talk. We kept in contact. You know,
Yeah.
you're my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, so we always I always have that contact with you, right?
sure.
But you are,
Yeah.
and but that was like
You're number
one of,
5. No, I'm kidding.
number 5. I'm outside. Am I in the top? The
It's kind of tough because I do have a brother that's pretty close in age, so like we're really close.
that's totally
what I mean?
cool.
I will
That's
say-
no problem.
I will say that you're definitely in the top 2 or 3. So it's with my brother being number 1, probably.
there's nothing wrong with that. but
no,
what
but I know what you mean.
I'm
yeah, for
trying
sure.
to say
We've
is
been hanging out for
that-
what? I don't even want to think about it. 11 years now, like pretty extensively, because like 2006 was my sophomore year of college, and that's when you came up to Madison, I think. And
But when we hang out back in Darlington before,
it was a group thing.
right?
Yeah.
And we weren't as close then,
No, we just were like, oh yeah, he's cool.
right?
Like, I liked watching your movies that you made.
Yeah, and the main thing was like kind of what happened was, and I'm not saying that people
Yep.
should do this type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I went away from everybody,
Yeah.
and when I came back,
You went to
slowly,
the Fortress of Solitude.
I was literally in the Fortress of Solitude.
Okay.
And because at the point before the blow up, I was getting high on weed like 3 times a day and getting drunk all the time.
Yeah.
And I weighed a ton and nothing was going anywhere. Nothing made any sense.
Yeah.
And then it was just all part of this like hurricane.
No, for sure.
And the podcast was part of the hurricane.
Of course.
And then, but when I rolled around the hurricane, it worked. And then all of a sudden there was a problem, and I was, and there was like I don't know, like somehow, that started the whole thing where I just was like, I don't, and this is a bad thing to say, but I was just like, I don't want to be around anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And that started that. Because I hadn't had somebody shout in my face and like spit in my, almost like the spittle coming out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't had that happen for a while, maybe ever. And That wasn't the main thing, though. The thing was basically that maybe it was just time. It was time to take a break, you know? And I don't blame anybody for the whole thing.
Well, I also think that I don't want to talk for Mercury because he's not here. And
No.
maybe he'll comment or something. We can talk about
And
it. But,
like I said, I'm not gonna have a negative comment about him.
But he.
But we were both younger.
I guess I don't want to get too much into his personal life and what was happening at that point. But I know that, I mean, he's talked about it on Facebook. But he was suffering from bipolar disorder pretty bad, and he wasn't getting treated until pretty recently, you know. And so it was like a thing that he had issues with and hadn't really dealt with. And then not to mention Mercury, you know, he was Tyler, of course, when he was on the show, and now he's Mercury. He got way into performing and burlesque and stuff, and like that's why he's not around, because he is constantly on the road touring, like, and so he kind of was doing that too. So it was basically like super stressful time for him too, I think. So it was kind of like, and just like it was a perfect, like you said, a hurricane, like a perfect storm, and it just like you guys were both spinning around the hurricane, and then you hit each other at the same time, and you're like shit. And then I was just like I was the eye of the hurricane watching the shitstorm. You know, Adam was my like rock. You know what I mean? Like Adam was like the fucking mediator. You know what I mean? You put Adam in a room and like everything's all right when he's there. But you get him out of there, I can't have that kind of I don't know. I'm not as easygoing, I guess. But like, and it just, yeah. So I don't know. That it's interesting to talk about because we haven't really talked about it at all.
No.
And now the show is Matt and TJ and me because we all have, well, two of us have the technology to do it over
and
the
has
internet.
TJ made reparations
You
for
know TJ, right?
having enjoyed Carlos Mencia's television program? Has he apologized for that?
Wait, is this something that you want to talk to him about? Oh.
No, you can pass this along, but he hasn't mentioned Mind of Mencia and what a fan he was.
He was a fan. I don't remember this when I lived with
I
TJ.
seem to remember, and I just want to hear what his reply is maybe
remember,
on the next episode. I seem to remember a period where he had a DVD case with not one, not two, but perhaps 3 full season box sets of Mind of Mencia sitting there. Like it meant something. Like that was something that he was happy about.
That may have been our other roommate.
No.
Well, because I know... Okay, maybe.
No.
Oh, you saying you had a conversation about this where it was just...
I vividly remember...
Oh, okay. So...
That... No, we watched episodes of this.
I don't remember that.
With him.
Maybe you
and
were
so
watching
this is
episodes with him.
That could be too. Like sometimes like I hung out
because I forgot
and
that
didn't
you and
leave.
TJ knew each
sometimes,
other.
Yeah.
Like because I was like, oh, you know, like when TJ came on the show again, and because we hung out in college. Specifically, there was one summer, I think probably the summer of 2007, the year before he graduated, and we had gotten an apartment on campus. And it was me, Drew, who was my roommate for the rest of my college career, and TJ.
By the way, do you remember the time when I was trying to find a roommate and some dude with a fucking dog collar showed up and he was like,
"Wait, what?
Did you remember that?"
No.
He had like a studded dog collar.
Where was this? Wait.
Your place. Like he met us at your place in Edgewood.
Really?
Yeah. He had like shaved head.
I feel like I must have blocked this out at some point then because I don't remember this at all.
He had a shaved head. He was like a burly type of dude. And he comes in, and he's like, "Yeah, let's. You and everything. So you want to find like an apartment? That's cool. Like this apartment and everything."
Yeah. And
I did such a scumbaggy thing, but at the same time, it was the right thing.
Oh yeah.
I think it's definitely your Edgewood place with the trees and everything. That backwoods fucking apartment you had.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What happened was he came in, and even in my like being younger and kind of not wanting to be judgmental or whatever. I'm sorry. If a fucking guy comes in with a dog collar, I'm not gonna have an apartment with. I was just like, this guy's just I don't know, there's something wrong here. And he talked like it's almost worse if the guy with the dog collar on talks normally to you.
Yeah.
It's actually worse than if he was psycho.
Yeah. Would that be like if like you had like Mickey Mouse at like Disney World? It was just like, hey buddy,
I
what's
got
going
kind of
on?
a white power vibe off of him too.
Oh, okay. That's interesting to see in Madison. It's not.
Well,
very
he was
white.
coming to Madison. He was moving.
You wanted to set up his front offices of his Stormfront .org chat group in Madison.
We were going to be the home base, yeah. And so I remember, and this has got to be like one of the first. No, this is actually the second time because I want to give you a little insight into like kind of like what a dick I can be sometimes.
I know.
You're right.
Listeners know.
I said like, yeah, we'll get a room, we'll get an apartment for sure. That it's gonna work out fine. And I shook his hand, and then I screened all of his calls.
He just every time.
Immediately was like, no fucking way. And
you could at least have the decency to be like, oh, hey, oh, sorry. Actually, I have a friend from my hometown who said he was going to move up here, so we got an apartment together. So sorry it didn't work out. I hope you find something. Like, that would have been what I would have done.
Right.
A lie. Which is actually, you know, to be fair, there's something noble in what you did, which is you didn't lie. You know, that guy thought maybe I have a roommate for a long time.
he's like, hello?
Hello?
Well,
Did he leave voicemails?
I don't know, because I just like wouldn't
Well, you would
listen to
delete
them.
them. Oh my god!
If they came in, I just deleted them.
That would be the worst.
Like,
Oh my god!
The other thing I
what's
did,
going on?
and this is like kind of led into this type of situation.
Sure.
Whenever I had a relationship,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Even like starting at high school and beyond,
Yeah.
I couldn't break it off, right?
Sure. It's tough.
So then I just decided not to call them anymore and see what would happen.
The Vinny Chase method.
I've heard now that's called ghosting.
Yes.
So
You were a grade A ghoster.
have ghosted as a rule. And I don't recommend it, but at the same time, it felt like the right thing to do at the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I don't really want to, like, be yelled at. What am I going to, Look, we dated for 6 weeks. I get tired of you. What more do you want to hear?
It's over.
They don't want to hear that, though. They want to... But I don't have 2 hours to sit here and have an emotional conversation because...
Sure.
I don't care that much.
Yeah,
I just
it's
want to like
over. You were
go
already
fucking
done.
watch like Predator again or something on DVD or Get Out. That's a new one coming out that looks good.
Oh, I can't. I think
We got to watch that.
I think I'm going to see that pretty soon. So
I'm gonna totally watch it in the theaters.
The reviews have been like, it's. I don't even know what to describe. It's basically like a weird horror movie about like a black guy going to like a very white.
They like try to
neighborhood.
turn all the black guys into Uncle Toms.
Yeah, basically. Like,
Let's be honest. That's what it is.
yeah, and like the guy, like there's just part of the trailer where it's
It's great.
oh my god, it's Keith Stanfield. I think is the guy in the trailer where he's just like he's like, hey, how's it going? And like he's just like that, and he's like, get out. And you're like, what? And you're like, oh god, and then it turns into a horror movie.
Oh my god.
Just like it looks really good. So yeah, and then the review's been good too. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, I had a question for you.
Okay.
Unless you had something you really want to talk about, I have a topic.
No, I got it all out there. That's
Okay.
That was my whole thing.
Right.
I have no ill feelings toward but I did want to explain what happened in the past, but I couldn't do it right away because then that's like
Yeah.
it was hard to do it like coming back.
Yeah. Okay, I want to mention
Ultimately, everybody have
Yeah.
a good time.
Mhm.
I don't have any hard feelings to anybody here.
I've never broken up with anyone. I've always been the dumpy every time.
Really?
Yes. Never ghosted either. Over text once, which was bad. We only dated for like a month though, so it wasn't really that bad.
I just got dumped for. Well, I don't know if I'm dumped yet. I might be dumped.
Are you being ghosted right now? Is what's happening? You don't know?
I'm in that gray area.
Okay, but I've never broken up with anyone. I've always doing the dumpy to my face multiple times.
They do it to your face?
Well, yeah. Actually, one time.
Is that good or bad?
One time I was in person ghosted because it was somebody that I was like in a class with, and we kept seeing each other all the time, and she just wouldn't talk to me. Like it was just like I'd be like, "Hey, what's going on?" She'd be like, "I gotta go," and it's like, "Okay," like, yeah, that was cold. That's the coldest one.
When you have to like see her, like 4 times a week. My God.
Well, like 3, but still, like, whoa, like it's just all right, we're not talking anymore.
We're friends still. No.
So what happened is that I had another friend.
And she's like, get away from me.
I had another friend who was a girl that was in that class too, and
believe me, when you get broken up, I'm not. Everybody who the dumper always has that vibe of like, get away from me.
I just want to say this: we dated for like
always.
We dated for like a week. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even like really an official relationship, but like I don't know what happened or what I did, but it was just like nah, I'm not even going to talk to you. And it was like, and so like there's another girl who was in this class with me who I was friends with. We didn't date or anything, but like we just basically spent the entire time like making fun of her, and then it made me get over it. Like it was really good. It was just like, it was a really good friend thing. It was just like, yeah, she's an idiot. We called her bitch. She called her bitch face, which I thought was good.
Bitch face.
Yeah. Well, she dumped me. It was a good protective friend thing to do. Like, and not to her face, but that's what she would call her when I would talk about her. Like, oh yeah, is that what bitch face did? I was like, oh. It made me feel good though, because I was like, no, it's always good to have your friends on your side. So,
I think of past experiences, and just I really don't. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where I'm just kind of facile enough that this doesn't kind of like dig into me. Mm-hmm. But that's probably also why you've had the great relationship that would lead to marriage
next year,
and I'm me. So that's probably like part of it.
We have different personalities. I'm extremely laid back, and I found someone who basically is like the exact same personality that I am. So we just like get along. Like we never fight. Just get along. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're a team. Like it's great.
We do the like passive aggressive stuff sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah. No, for sure. But like I don't know. Like
but it's not bad at all.
I do remember.
It's not bad
I do remember
at all.
3-point stance. I remember.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Hey man, sometimes when you're drunk and
look,
I want to explain this now.
I was being in a fashion where I was being magnanimous and I was not pointing fingers at people, and now you want to bring this up, and I don't know.
I'm joking, dude. We were all drunk, and
Can we wait like a couple more podcasts before bringing that one up?
Oh shit! It wasn't even that bad.
No, it was. It was bad because of how dumb.
It feels.
I was
bad.
My dumbest. I was never that dumb ever in my life.
You can't blame yourself. You were drunk. Like everyone does stupid shit.
I know, but I really feel like dumb.
I
feel so dumb because that happened.
It was just one of those situations.
But now we talked about it, so now you have to explain it.
Okay. Well, it's just one of those situations where we were all hanging out, and I think Lance said something that he got made fun of for, and I don't remember what it was.
I was being teased a little bit.
Just a little bit. Everyone was being teased.
Not much,
but
even.
What happened was I think it kind of... Because there was a bunch of people that Lance was just getting to know for the first time. So I think you were kind of on, like, I need to make a good first impression mode to all these new people.
Those people weren't there, though.
Oh, they weren't?
It was just us.
Oh, it was me and Adam, wasn't it?
You're thinking of a thing that happened like
I don't remember
the
anything
next
else. But whatever.
week or whatever.
But whatever. It was.
And by the way, those other people are fucking lame.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted them to be cool, but they just couldn't be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So what happened was, I don't remember what it was. You said something stupid. I don't even remember what came off. But what happened was basically you got mad about it, and then
No, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, and then Adam and I kept
fucking
picking at you,
teased me to the point,
which is funny because he never teases anyone.
But we were roommates, so it's a little different because
I think this is when all three of us were living together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you say he never teases anyone, but when you're roommates, it's a little different.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so he was fucking with me. Oh my god, it was. It must have just been like easy meat or whatever. It's just like this guy. He fucking.
I don't even know what it was.
Ham was on the fucking upper hand of like every interaction I had with him at that apartment. Like, he is smarter than me. He just like he knows 2 more steps more than I do before I get there. Like, I don't know, he tricks you somehow. Like, at least for me. So we got like bitching at each other, and by that I mean like me probably being belligerent and him being like,
well, he was probably sober because Adam doesn't drink that much.
Right.
And you and I probably had both been drinking.
Oh yeah, just my luck. He starts drinking after he moves away or whatever, right?
Yeah, for
Is
sure.
he drinking now?
No, he doesn't drink.
He's a weeder.
Well, hypothetically. He doesn't ever admit to it, but
he doesn't admit to it.
I made fun of him as
he's a phantom weeder.
I said that, like, yeah, when I come to his apartment, it's just just like hot box the entire place.
I like that he thinks that people maybe don't like know that he is hot boxing life or whatever he does with his fucking self.
I don't really know. Honestly, I haven't hung out with him in a long time. But it just he's gotten a lot more laid back with that. But anyway.
But when we and the only reason I tease a little bit.
Oh, cool.
The only reason I do this here is because I was that guy when we lived together.
Yeah.
So then I now have the right to fucking poke fun a little bit, but now everybody's kind of got off on their own tangents, their own lifestyles and everything. And
okay, let's see here. So he was picking on you, and I thought you challenged me. Is what happened. Because I'm pretty sure I snowballed in on it, and we were laughing because you basically
literally like talking about like the worst part of my life.
I don't
this
think
is
it's
the worst thing
part
I've
of
ever heard of.
No, but like it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It is.
It's not that bad. So like,
it's so embarrassing
literally,
to me.
We were talking about something, and then you were just like,
"Oh, it's just
John,
awful,
John." You were like, "You're weak" or whatever.
It's
Here,
fucking awful.
Let's go outside. 3-point stance. I can knock you over. And I was like, Lance, no. I'm like literally like there talking to myself. I'm like, Lance, I know I'm a weakling. I'm a wuss. Like, I know. I'm not going to go outside and try and push
Dude, don't try to justify the fact that I was an ass, okay?
It wasn't bad, though, because
it was awful.
It was funny, too, because we basically were like, all right. And then Adam and I were basically just looking at the image and it was like, okay, it's really fun to poke Lance right now because he's really belligerent about this topic.
And that's where, like, Ham got him with his little jabs.
With his little jabs. And I would jab.
Little jabs he got in there.
And then we were just both looked at each other because I think you had to go to the bathroom or something. We were both like, just stop. Like this, we're just gonna stop. And then it stopped. And then you just like we all calmed down.
No. What happened?
Or you went somewhere else. I don't know.
What happened was, well, eventually I think I came out of the bathroom. I looked one way. I looked the other way, and then I retreated to my room in shame.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Basically, I went full retard that night.
It was amazing because I remember what it was. I totally remember what it was.
Oh God! Okay, you're gonna remember more things from this. Please no.
It's jogging my memory. Okay, so you went okay, so what happened was Lance was talking about how like he was strong and tough because he did football or whatever.
Oh my god,
And-
this is awful.
And
This is the worst thing ever that could happen.
no. And okay, and then what happened was Adam and I started making jokes about how football was really gay. And like
Right.
how guys were like grabbing each other's balls, and like you're like, oh, you're a lineman. That means the quarterback stuck his hands
my
up your
God,
butt.
you're right,
just like-
you're right,
you're
you're
like, what are
right.
you talking about? Yeah, football's a manly sport. And we're just like laughing. We're like, yeah, manly. A bunch of boys slapping each other's asses.
That's pretty good, actually.
And then it just was like the point where it was like I was like, this is like sober Lance would have thought this is hilarious,
Right.
But drunk Lance just
I didn't-
you took a stand.
It must have just been whiskey.
It was something.
Sometimes, like, whiskey makes me bad.
It was just funny because it was just.
And that's actually, like, younger Lance. Like, there was a younger period where I actually had a fight with one of my favorite people ever because I drank whiskey for 2 hours before I talked to them.
Yeah.
I might as well just
You're
say,
saying that
I'm not going to say the full name, but, like, Jed,
Okay. Yep. I know him.
funniest guy
Oh
ever.
yeah. I love Jed.
And I got in a fight with
And
him.
he's super laid back too. Like.
I know. I got in a fight with him because I just, like, was drinking a ton of whiskey and then showed up some night.
Yeah.
And I felt like such an ass. Eventually, though, I showed up again a couple years later, and we smoothed the whole thing out. I was like, look, man, I was fucking stupid. I was
Yeah.
25.
It's fun to look back and laugh at that, but
Same thing. You know what's worse about the fucking... I'm going to give you detail about the fucking three-point stance thing that's even worse.
okay.
Oh, this is awful.
I almost
There
wanted-
was a point where
I almost-
there was a bottle of wine, and basically, like, I couldn't find a corkscrew for it,
Oh no.
and it wasn't my bottle, but I was like, I don't care
It was
anyway.
probably Adams.
It was Adams.
He
It was
had-
a fucking like 2-year-old
Yeah.
bottle of fucking like cheetah wine
Yeah,
or
that he
some
got,
bullshit.
he got for as a
Just some
gift.
cheetah thing on the
Yeah, yeah.
label. I literally, as a joke, or even as just like I got like a manic. I got in a manic mood that night, and I was just like aggressive, and
Yeah.
I just was like, I'm gonna open it, and I tried to open it with my teeth, and I fucking broke off part of one of my canine teeth.
Oh no.
And it's I got it fixed.
Yeah.
This one,
Sure.
they grinded it down. They didn't
Uh-huh.
actually like replace any
Yeah.
part of the matter there,
No.
but
They just evened it out.
They evened it out, and that's why I feel like so ashamed about that night.
was
Because
just a
I was
bad
like,
night.
why was it so fucking? But you know what I mean? It was just one of those things where it was like,
Wait, okay, I want to talk about another bad night of drinking in that apartment. Is
we
the
take
night-
a break before you do this. Oh my god!
Oh no, wait, let's just do this one last story and we'll take a break. Is that
I'm gonna pound this drink.
that night when
I just want to say
My-
before you get into this,
do you know what night
that
I'm
I
going to
haven't.
talk about?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I just want to say before we get into this that
This was not
I've
you
been on
drinking.
a good. Okay. I don't even know about that or anything. I just want you to reiterate to the crowd here.
Yeah.
I've been on a decent run, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like tail spinning out into.
No, this was years ago. This is like 5-6 years ago.
I just
More
want
than
that
that.
to be said before anything
It was like
else
8
is.
years ago, probably 9 years ago. Okay, so no, this was the night in which you
Okay.
and Petey, acquaintance, used my brother as a blunt, drunken instrument and destroyed a guitar that I had.
Oh right.
You like
That was a dick move.
you,
That's
like,
for sure.
Okay, it was funny because like basically what happened was Petey had my back, and you know what happened. So because I was out for this weekend or something, and I came back. I don't know what I was doing, on a trip somewhere or something. I came back, the guitar was broken. It didn't matter. I think I paid you $10 for that or something. It was a piece of shit. I just wanted something. Like you let
But
me
it
ha-
wasn't. You know what it is though. When and sadly, I'm coming up with it. Sadly, when not sadly, but when, and I took advantage of this situation when Petey gets hammered.
Mm-hmm.
Petey gets like a little different,
Yes, he does.
and I took advantage of that.
Yeah.
And I turned him into a bad person.
Yeah, he gets
I kind of directed him towards violence of objects.
Wait, Petey,
which
I
I
thought you were
knew-
talking about Eric. I thought Eric did it.
Eric was the victim of all of this.
Oh no. Well, okay, first off,
Eric was like
thought-
stumbling around
Yeah.
like a fucking blind man.
like
or
I'm gone
something.
for a weekend and it turns into like fucking weekend at Bernie's at my apartment with like just drunken
Were you
people.
gone?
I
thought
was
you-
gone that weekend.
Oh, well,
So I came
weird.
back and I was like, why is my guitar gone? You're like, oh yeah. Petey broke it when he was drunk because you like told him to.
Well,
break it.
Eric got some good retribution on
Yes,
me.
exactly. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And so, like, Eric had my back, and he's like, well, guess what? I'm going to destroy Lance's bed. And so he just jumped on it full force. 6'8" motherfucker, huge guy. Just like, I'm going to destroy it. And Lance, I saw your bed was just, like, lumpy. It was never the same. Like, he broke
Well, he
it.
didn't believe me.
He broke a couple camp chairs,
at the
too, if I
time-
remember.
At the time, and that was like part of us being stupid.
Which was our fucking apartment furniture.
Believe
was camping
me.
chairs.
When Eric crushed my bed,
Yeah.
he didn't say, "I'm gonna get Lance back."
No.
You know what happened?
What?
He basically like collapsed into the fucking thing.
Whoa.
He didn't know what room he was in. He didn't know where he was.
Uh-huh.
I saw it happen. I looked over and I'm like, no, 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 no. All of a sudden, the fucking thing was folded in two because he just smashed it.
Yeah,
But
I know what you mean.
we goaded him into.
So you
we
had you had-
goaded him into smashing the fucking
Yeah.
chairs and the
Yeah.
guitar,
Yeah.
which was dumb.
Yeah.
But we were like,
I wasn't really honestly that broken up over it because I was like, I never used it anyway. Like, I didn't care.
right.
But like, it was.
But
just,
like I just want to say, like I always
you got your karmic retribution.
feel
though.
bad. Oh, I definitely did. But you know how I just feel bad sometimes when you do things that it's like, why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But we were like 23 or 24, being retards.
Mm-hmm.
A pack of retards over there.
Just doing it up.
By the way,
Yeah.
I've been listening to the Born in the 80s
Okay.
podcast.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you like it? It's gotten. It's that we have our ups and downs. There's a particular episode that I want to call out as a down episode. I don't remember what I think it was called Technically Difficult. And that was one, and it's one of the shortest ones we put out. And it was just like, Matt's computer kept screwing up and he couldn't talk, and we'd recorded something else, the Amazon Expedition, which is like a little Twitch TV show that we've been doing, like a little fun thing. And that was like an hour beforehand, so we were all completely drained from like talking for an hour. We're like, all right, let's do a 2-hour podcast. And we had all this. Anyway, no, it's been good though. TJ's good to talk to, and Matt's fun, and it works out pretty well over the internet. So, I think the last episode, the one that you listened to, was a particularly fun one.
Yeah.
So, just I don't know, but I like doing it this way too, because recording podcasts over the internet.
By the way, Matt, I'm waiting on a reply on
Yes.
that comment.
Yeah, he left a comment. We'll have to address it.
He
in the
put one in
podcast.
there?
No. I'll have to let him know. I just saw it today, so I approved it. So it's now on the page.
By the way, did we get into the guy who slagged me on the Led Zeppelin article?
I saw that. I just like how he's just like, I don't know. Maybe like Lance wrote a thing where like obviously is like a half joke that like Led Zeppelin probably has only like 2 good songs maybe, and just wrote some really dumb shit about it. And then like some
I
guys,
was
like,
so hungover when I wrote that. I
But-
was just like in
but,
the
like, you-
afterglow of fucking booze
Yeah.
in the morning. You know when you're drunk at fucking like 7 a.m., but you have its energy all of a sudden?
that has not happened to me in a long time where I've woken up drunk.
I don't know, something about me and my I have this energy sometimes that can occur when because you wouldn't fire off a 3-page article
Yeah.
when you're hungover,
No.
right? But somehow this happens to me every now and then when I get fucking super hammered and something happens And then I have all this, like, it's like a power source or a power surge or something.
Yeah.
And then I'm back at my apartment by my computer. I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I have fucking Led Zeppelin. Oh! I just start like typing it, you know. And that's how it happens. It doesn't happen because I'm sitting, you know. Yeah. I how many times I say in the article, you know, if somebody wants to like give me shit though, that's fine because
it's
like
just funny because it was like such an honest reaction to what was obviously like an article that's like half joking, like. Obviously, Led Zeppelin's not a bad band.
No,
but you
they're
like
not.
to make fun of them because you know they're so revered. And this guy's just like, "Well, you need to like grow a pair of ears or something." Yeah. You're just like, "Whoa, dude!" Like, calm down.
The reason I fucking like ripped on them was because they're like the sacred cow of hard rock or whatever. Mm-hmm. But also because like I don't own any of their CDs.
Yeah,
and I hear them on the radio and turn the fucking. It was just like. That's okay. That's fine. But I just like I had one of those moments where you get drunk enough, you wake up, it's early in the morning, you hear fucking rock and roll for 2 seconds, and you're like, fuck this band, you know. And then I wrote the article, which is fine. Yeah,
that's on. Well, what are you doing?
He's. I'm sorry.
You're making noise.
The thing. Sorry. But he is correct in like giving me shit. Like the guy. Yeah. I expect that.
Yeah. But anyway.
But I expect like a little bit better constructive criticism than like fuck you. You're What was that?
I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. He took it.
Do a little better.
Yeah. Well, I think we should take a break. It's that time.
Yes.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the second half. Okay, and we're back for the second half of Saturday Night Bite. I'm John here with...
Lance.
The Lance.
How we doing, John?
We're doing good. What are we drinking?
Tom Collins.
Tom Collins's. I learned how to make these.
These are tasty beverages.
Mm-hmm. It's like a vodka lemonade for grown-ups. That's what I like to call it. Because it has gin in it. And when people tell me that they don't like gin, I'm like... grow up.
It's like you're telling somebody that you don't like maturity.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I don't want to taste the alcohol.
I don't like things that aren't pleasing to me immediately.
Yeah. It's like,
fuck off.
I like the complexity.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get
you fucking dickhead.
Fucking, you asshole. Come on. Yeah, anyway. No, like, well, actually, doesn't James Bond order a vodka martini?
James Bond orders the fucking shittiest drink ever. I have a vodka martini, shaken not stirred. Let me tell you something about that drink. That drink is garbage.
Yeah.
It is
garbage tier of drink. I like a gin martini. I remember at one time
he says vodka martini. Is it rail or what are you talking about here, James? Yeah. Jimmy boy.
Can I call you Jim? Jimmy boy?
I'm gonna give you some fucking Smirnoff in this. No, you don't like that?
You want Grey Goose? It's going to cost you. It's top shelf. Adam and I, when we were hanging out...
Shaken, not stirred. What a cunt he has to be. He wants his fucking...
I need
two-part fucking drink.
I need it prepared specially.
In a glass, like back and forth, and then poured over. What a fucking cunt.
Yeah, he needs his...
I don't think
checker privilege.
I could possibly give a shit about this guy.
Yeah.
After hearing him order a drink.
That's funny though.
Vodka martini, shaken not stirred. It's just like, does he want the olive? Does he ever eat the olive with that?
I don't know if he gets the olive or do you get a little pearl onion, which I think is the grossest thing to put in a drink. Yeah, like that's like a drink thing. Let's put an onion in my drink.
Too sharp.
I don't even like onions that much to begin with. You know what I mean? I like them cooked and stuff, but never raw. So raw onion in my drink sounds terrible. No,
You like them caramelized?
so I had never. Yes, made caramelized,
Fucking horrible.
delicious caramelized onions.
Red Robin language I'm using.
That's right. No, so I'd never had a martini before, and Adam and I were both like, I'm going to make martinis. And I'm like, I'm going to buy some martini glasses. I'm going to buy vermouth. I'm going to buy gin. We're going to make these right. And then we both had them. We were both like, I don't know if I like a martini that much. And bought all this shit. And we're just like, this is too strong. Like, it's alcohol with another alcohol. You know what I mean? And that was before. Like, now I drink bourbon straight, like, all the time. Or, like, with, an ice cube or whatever. But, like, back then, when I was
Don't dull it up. You drink bourbon straight.
I know, but I mean, regardless, bourbon tastes amazing though. Whereas vodka and gin, I don't think I could drink straight. Well, vodka you can drink straight because it doesn't have a lot of flavor. But
I disagree. I think vodka is Eurotrash.
you're just gonna throw it out, Eurotrash.
It's just garbage.
Vodka brand.
Vodka can only be mixed with soda products or lemonade type of products, and otherwise it's garbage.
So okay, Lance, you've mixed drinks
stance.
before, right?
Yes,
What's the worst?
I've actually done that as a job.
Okay, Okay, but not as a job. But like, let's say you're at home, you don't have a lot of ingredients. I gotta make a drink. I've got vodka. I don't want to drink it straight. What's the worst mixed drink you ever made for yourself?
Oh my god.
I know mine. Mine was made for me.
I have
Okay.
taken.
Okay.
This is the worst.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right, here we are.
I have taken. You know how this what is it called? Apple.
Pucker?
No. It's like apple, like cinnamon something like
Yep.
They have pumpkin. It's not a cider, but it's close to a cider, caramelized type of thing, like
pumpkin ale or something. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of what the proper term is. It's like
pumpkin.
You know
juice?
that's like shitty. Like
what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, but
obviously this is terrible.
Give me 1 second here.
No, it's fair enough.
The payoff's going to be
We've
great.
had a lot of Tom Collinses.
Well,
two, but
they had
they're strong.
This you know what fucking rum chata is?
Yes. Yep.
Fucking garbage, sugary, fucking Mexican shit.
Okay.
Basically.
Well, I don't know if it's Mexican.
It is.
Latin.
Whatever the fuck.
Wherever it's from. It's from like those it's from those fruity drink countries where they like make fancy fruity drinks.
All right.
I know what you're talking about. It's like cream based.
Fucking apple pie version of rum chata. Whatever you call that.
Like apple chata?
Yeah, let's call it that.
Sure, okay.
I know what aisle it's in the store, but I don't
know the name.
Sometimes it's $3 and sometimes it's $14.
And is this
there is no discrepancy between.
No, is this like cream based?
Price. Yes. It's liqueur. It's liqueur. There you go. That's what it's
like an apple cream liqueur.
It's fucking shit like apple liqueur. Stuff.
Okay.
And I had the brainstorm.
Okay.
That I said, hey, and this is actually I'm gonna get one step deeper into it. I was putting like ginger on top of my drinks.
Like ginger root?
Like ginger like what is that stuff? Like you put on toast. Like it doesn't belong on drinks.
Okay.
You're asking me about what the worst drink is ever? I'm telling you right now. It's this apple cream type of thing. And I was putting a ginger sprinkle on top of it, right?
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty cool with that, right?
Yep.
Things were going well. Anyway, one day I decided that I said, hey, this tastes really sweet the way it is. I'm not going to lie. I thought it tasted good even though it was shit. I know it was shit. And I said, we need to load this up with some vodka.
Oh.
So you pour under the ice and the fucking creamy fucking everything that you're doing there. Like an ounce or two of vodka, probably 2, based on the way that I pour things.
Yep.
And then the apple liqueur or the creamy liqueur or whatever, and then the sprinkle of the cinnamony type of shit on top. That, sir, is the worst drink that I could pour. And I drank it, and oh, what a schmuck I must have been. Though I do know one of our friends who had a worse drink than that.
What's that? Oh, you're talking about Fulton's Harvest apple pie?
Ugh.
It's called apple pie. It's
anything
like
that's
cream.
Yep.
Yeah, cream apple liquor. Yep. Who is this? Sorry, you saying
one thing that's actually worse, and I'm sorry that I went on like a tangent, and then actually we're gonna end up as something. This has got to be like. I swear you, there's a payoff here.
Okay,
it's coming.
We're getting
payoff.
We're getting it.
Our friend Mark.
Okay,
I'm just gonna say Mark.
Sure. First names only.
First names only.
Let's keep this. So let's keep it legal.
He thought he was making Bloody Marys. This idea of
wait. I like how you're like, he thought he was making Bloody Mary. So now we're gonna find out what his idea of what a Bloody Mary is, and I guarantee you, it is not anything drinkable. Mark is a man. Never mind. I don't want to say the stuff that he's done or drank because I don't want to call. You know what? Fuck it. He's never gonna listen to
Mark
this. He's
mixed fucking vodka with chocolate milk. I remember that.
He's not a mixologist. I want to see his mixologist license and take it away because he does not deserve a mixologist license. No, he's a man who I know when I visited on a trip to the great Las Vegas, and he was like, I'm going to make a cheaper drink than alcohol. I'm going to buy a bunch of Robitussin PM and drink that.
Was fucking... I've told other people that story. Because I said, like, I knew the guy...
You know my favorite part about it?
I can't even believe
picture evidence of him doing it.
Why?
And he was
Why
embarrassed.
Did you do that?
And I was like, because it's cheap. And you get wasted. And then you throw up all over a bathroom in the Planet Hollywood Hotel is what happens. And your friends are like, is he okay? No, that's fine. You know, it's stuff you do in Vegas when you're like 25. You're 25, though. Whatever.
No, you were in Vegas with him, and you didn't do that.
That's right. I drank. Regular.
Drank like a... Well...
Drank like a fish.
Our friend here...
Sure. Bad mixologist. What is his Bloody Mary, Lance? Tell me.
You cannot By the way, since I was a bartender for a short period of time...
Sure.
And I almost understand what a Bloody Mary is because I'm going to give you my understanding of it.
Yep.
I asked over and over and over again what a Bloody Mary is before each shift because I didn't get enough ordered.
People order them like crazy
but
in Madison.
If you don't want to be put in a position where somebody orders one and you have no fucking idea. And I knew that was a popular drink, as you say.
Yep.
And so I kind of like, before every shift, I would refresh myself on like, what's a fucking Bloody Mary again? And the one time someone ordered, by the way, before we get into this, there's this older woman.
I forget the name of the bar that we made up that you worked at. We made up a name for it. Let's call it Saturdays.
Saturdays?
Let's just call it Saturdays. So we're going to shift at Saturdays. Classy bar.
And before I get to the meat of the story, one time an older woman ordered a virgin Bloody Mary. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you want liquor without liquor? Like, what kind of fucking... idiot are you?
Well, what she basically is like, I want some cold tomato soup with a bunch of shit in it. Like
a fucking glass of fucking red shit and
I wish I could love Bloody Marys.
No, why should you?
Because it seems like a drink.
It's a garbage old man's drink. Why do you want that?
Yeah, because you get like a beef stick in it, and you get like cheese curds in it in some places.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
I'm just saying, it's like a meal more than a drink. I don't know.
You have to be like suffering from cirrhosis to actually order one.
You already have to be in like early stages of liver failure to be ordering a Bloody Mary. Fair enough.
Fucked. If you no, I don't know. It was something about this.
What is Mark's Bloody Mary? You gotta tell us. Oh no,
Okay,
sorry.
yeah,
First
yeah.
off,
Thank you for getting
you
me
said
back on track
yes,
here.
You're saying an old lady ordered a Bloody Mary virgin, which is crazy to you, and you barely even know how to make one. What is Mark's Bloody Mary?
Before we get into Mark's Bloody Mary,
Okay, we're going back
I want to
again.
say
Yep.
that I actually had to pour a legit Bloody Mary before I was out of that job.
Okay.
And I did not ask if that was a good drink afterwards, because possibly there was a point where there was grenadine and something else sitting on the counter, and I was like, I know I need 10 drops of something here, and I just started pouring shit in there.
Are you saying you put cherry in someone's tomato drink?
I don't know what the fuck it was, man.
Oh boy.
But I sold it. Because I went out back into the counter, and I was like, I poured it this way and that way, and I was like, there it is. Hey-o. What a dick, right?
Oh, I know. I'm sure they were just like, this tastes weird, but whatever.
You couldn't tell from the guy's face, but like, I never could have told if it was a good drink one way or the other, but
Yeah.
I'm positive it wasn't.
No, for sure.
But the question that you were talking about, what was it?
Mark's recipe.
oh my
Because we're
God.
talking about worst drinks.
So this is how hapless I am in making a fucking Bloody Mary. This
Yeah.
awful drink that is equal to rat poison that I'm basically distinguishing and giving to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Mark's idea of Bloody Mary was cold Fleischmann's vodka with tomato juice. He
That's
thought
it.
that was a fucking Bloody Mary,
Yeah.
and
I know that you need like to sprinkle some sort of powder on it and put in some other drops of stuff in. I know there's more than just 2 ingredients in a Bloody
it's
Mary.
like fucking 7 ingredients.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It never ends
Yeah.
what the ingredients are.
Yeah.
But
Was that a bad drink?
you know what was funny about that? And I felt sick like the next day.
Yep.
And he felt like he kept drinking it though. He wouldn't stop.
It was just like he could handle it. His stomach was good enough for
He's
it.
like, I'm good.
Oh my God.
Pour it in. Yeah, it's all good. He fucking like send me all these text messages about how he said like my body feels like it's been poisoned.
After the fact, he was just like,
Oh, like 3 p.m.
Fleischmann's,
3
though.
p.m. the next day. I mean,
Fleischmann's though. Aren't you glad to
Fleischmann's gin's not bad.
be... Okay. But they're vodkas. Ooh.
I never have had it. Fleischmann's vodka, I've never had it.
Why? Why would you? It's not that much cheaper than like Smirnoff, which is not that expensive and is at least drinkable.
I don't think vodka's a real drink anyway.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's like an alcohol enhancer. It's not actually like a fucking drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of vodka.
Yeah.
Like if it's like Arnold in Red Heat,
Mm-hmm.
where he gets the real vodka,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll fucking be drinking vodka. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that. I'm not. In America, there's the vodka we get is just garbage.
Yeah, I'm sure compared to like
I think it's garbage anyway.
you can get some really good vodka, but you have to pay for it. You know
like
what I
Grey
mean?
Goose is nothing. It's not anything
It
good.
It tastes like water. You know what I mean? Like Grey Goose. It's like a really good vodka. You can't even taste it. I'm like, what's the point then?
Yeah.
Like I want to taste my drink. I want to feel the poison going in my body. No. So I want to talk about my worst drink I've ever had. Now I'm going to talk about I'm talking about worst drinks I've ever had. There's a couple. One that I remember was the most drunk and sick I've ever been. Is that somebody, when I was in college, we had a cast party for a show I was in, and they were like, and this is why I can't drink tequila. So this is one of those stories. Like, I can't drink tequila anymore because I had this. They were like, you ever have bullfrog? You ever have bullfrog? I'm gonna tell you.
Never heard of it.
Let me tell you how to properly prepare a bullfrog, and then you'll learn how the bullfrog I had was. Pour the vodka, tequila, rum, and gin into an ice-filled glass. Now, this is why I was so sick, because there are 4 liquors in this. Okay, and then you're supposed to add blue Curacao, which okay, fair enough, if you have it, lemon juice, and then top with Red Bull.
Ugh.
So it is lemon juice, Red Bull, blue Curacao, and 4 liquors. So it's basically like a tropical, like Long Island iced tea, basically, like a tropical version. Now, that's proper bullfrog, and it says this isn't for the this recipe I'm looking at right now says this is not for the faint-hearted. You've been warned. Okay, so the one I had, I remember distinctly that this was tequila mixed with Mountain Dew.
Ugh.
With some powder poured into the Mountain Dew.
That's your good date rape chug.
Which I have to imagine the powder was like, this is simulating the flavor of blue Curacao and the other mixing shit that you need to put in there. So it literally was like tequila and Mountain Dew. And it tasted awesome. So
Have you ever taken ecstasy? Just wondering.
I have not. Now, I want to tell you I want to say this. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. But I knew that I was so slammed when I was out on the balcony and in my mouth I had a cigarette and I was trying to get it lighted and I was having trouble and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I lit it and I looked and I had burned the filter halfway off as I had it
you told me about
backwards
that one time.
in my mouth. And I was like, okay.
You smoked too long.
I think that I had the cigarette backwards in my mouth.
Oh, wow.
And I was lighting the filter. And I was like, you know what? I've had too much to drink. And then immediately I ran into the bathroom and spent the entire evening throwing up and being blacked out. And then waking up in a pile of my own vomit in a bathroom that was not my own, someone else's apartment. And I remember they threw in paper towels and a big bag, like garbage bag, and I cleaned everything up, and I left, and I apologized profusely in the morning, and I kept throwing up.
Now we're getting to like
all day.
Worst drunks ever.
That was the worst drunk I've ever been. But it was also the worst drink I've ever had.
And that was forever ago. You were like 19 when you did that.
No, come on. I was like 21. Like 21, 22. That's the time to do it. But anyway, no. The worst drink I ever had was probably different than that. That was only bad because it was like I had gotten wasted off of it and then got sick. The other worst one I had was like, hey guys, let's have a party at the Despair apartment. Remember the Despair apartment? We've talked about it before. And they're like,
you couldn't lift your feet up above the ground without them sticking to the ground.
Correct. And that was carpeted. We were like, let's have a party. We can have everybody pay to get in. Because this was like the scheme when you're in college. You're like, let's get a keg, let's get stuff, and everyone pays $5 for a cup at the door, and we're going to make a big profit, guys. And then we can use that to buy more beer for ourselves, because that's what you do when you're in college.
Who said that? I never heard that.
It was Jay. Anyway, he was like, had this plan.
Jay had a big plan.
So anyway, we're like, all right, it was somebody's birthday. We're going to make WAP. You know WAP, right?
Dagos or what?
No, God damn it! That is no. You're talking. It's Wapatuli, I believe is the name of the punch. So Wapatuli.
It's worth it.
No, I understand. I was actually going to make that joke, and not okay. So Wapatuli is. I like how. Okay, I want to mention the website I'm on. This is Wapatuli. What's Wapatuli? Midwest collage drink. They spelled college wrong, so you know this is good. Also known as Waparty. So basically it is 1 can of fruit cocktail, bottle of rum, bottle of vodka, bottle of gin, bottle of SoCo. That's cheap WAP. Cheap WAP. Huh? All right. Your regular Wapatuli. This is it. A bottle of gin, a bottle of rum, a bottle of vodka, 5 gallons of apple cider, 5 gallons of lemonade, 5 gallons of orange juice, a case of beer, and 30 pounds of ice. Chop up a pineapple, a few oranges, a watermelon, and other fruits. And you pour it in, and you stir it, and you let it steep all day, basically. Right? And it's just a punch, basically. It's just alcohol punch, right? Okay.
For like...
I want to tell you the Wapatuli that we had at our party. It was Everclear.
Let me tell you how actual drinks are made.
Yes? Are you saying they're not made by the gallon in a giant fucking Rubbermaid tub, which is what this drink was made in?
Absolutely. You just corrected what... It's what you said in smaller measurements. That...
Yes.
I will be drinking that type of Wapatuli.
Yeah.
When it's poured out to me.
Yes.
I'll do that. What the fuck are they talking about? Why the gallon tub? I mean, it's too much.
Well, it's for like
the measurements are fucking insane on that thing.
All right, let me look up another ingredient. Let me look up another Wapatuli recipe because that seemed crazy to me. We're gonna have to. Oh my fucking lord, this is even longer. Okay, so they have a quick and and they have a Collins, and then they have a regular one. Okay, this doesn't even make sense. Standard Wapatuli. All right, lemonade. Pineapple, oranges, melons, any other fruit. Ice, big giant Rubbermaid tub of ice. You put the fruit in. You pour in a bottle of gin, bottle of rum, bottle of vodka, and then you pour in apple cider, lemonade, and orange juice, and then you add a case of beer, and it's fucking insane. The Wapatuli we had was, and this is the saddest thing in the entire world, was Everclear. Multiple bottles of Everclear, grain alcohol, which is awful.
Fucking shit.
And you want to know what we drank it in? Big, giant gallon, like 2-gallon tubs of fruit punch, Hawaiian punch, and Everclear. That is the worst drink I've ever had.
You remember
Hawaiian punch and Everclear?
What's that house that we're is it the Misery House? What do we call that house?
Which one?
The Misery House. Or
I call it the Despair Apartment, but
Despair Apartment.
But yeah. Sorry,
are we settling on what's the title of that?
Let's. I think we've called it the Despair Apartment.
Despair Apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when, like, Bubba tried to rape me there?
I don't remember this. I remember Bubba, affectionately named friend of us, was very
affectionately. I'm not gonna be like affectionately.
He was very huggy. Let's say he liked to hug.
See,
when he was
you see, the seeds of the whole thing starts right off the bat.
Okay.
He lingered around you. He was like, hey, let's hug. Hey.
He was a friendly fellow. I will not hear a word of a word against Fair Bubba, who I believe I still have multiple copies of his Harry Potter books that I borrowed.
Oh, I know, which he
harangued me for, and I never gave him back.
No, I had to walk halfway across town to give him a couple of them.
You returned them. I kept them.
I don't even think
they're in horrible shape.
Was the whole thing.
They were paperbacks. They were falling apart. I assumed he didn't care about them.
Fucking covers were like bowed. They were just going all over the place.
I've never seen a book shaped this way, is what I'm saying.
It's like, wow, you really read Harry Potter. Like, you read it hard.
Put a lot of miles on that book. I mean, I like Harry Potter as much as the next guy, but he really read the shit out of those books. Okay, so we've been talking about alcohol. We've been talking about stuff. I actually said I had a topic that is not related to anything we've gone off on so far. I want to talk about.
Okay.
You've worked many jobs.
Yes.
I've worked many jobs.
I've been a man of the world.
Many trades. We both worked a lot.
Jack of all trades.
We've lived around. I want to ask you, what is the worst job you've ever had?
Anything dealing with fucking
wow, you got this immediately.
Grease fryers.
So we worked at a McDonald's together when we were in high school for a short period. That was fun.
Fucking French fries being cooked is the fucking shittiest thing that's ever could happen to anyone.
That was fun. only
Look
because...
at the fucking...
Are
look
you
at this
pointing
shit.
at grease stains that or burns that you have on your hands still?
When I worked at the bar.
Saturdays.
Saturdays.
God,
Look at this.
Watch out! Don't spill your drink. You got some burns here.
That fucking thing came in, and then what's the other one? That one.
Okay. Yep. That's what happens when you cook.
I don't want my fucking hand scarred because I'm working for $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Actually, I was working for 14. But at the same time, how can you justify grease? Just you put fries into that goddamn thing,
Yeah.
and it flies. And how can you justify just like? And if that happens, and all of a sudden like scalding fucking vegetable oil drops onto your hand and makes your skin bubble, and all of a sudden it's like, fuck. That all happens in like half a second, right?
Yeah.
Guess what happens?
What?
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
And you have scarred hands. It's fucking horseshit. I fucking hate fucking French fries. French fries can suck my dick.
Wow. That's a quote. No, I know what you mean though. Like when I worked at
So hate it.
When
I'm so angry.
When we worked at McDonald's, I don't think it was as bad because I think maybe they just had that shit down to enough of a science where like their fry machines are basically like just fucking throw a basket in and like they were built to like not spray everywhere. But like I remember that was not a bad job because we were in high school and I think that
What was bad because
I
the
didn't care.
managers were fucking cunts though.
there were some that were really bad.
Some all.
No. There were times when there would be managers who didn't give a
Tanya.
shit. Oh my god, you remember that? I
Fucking
fucking remember
bitch.
Tanya.
What a fucking bitch.
I know. She'd be like, "Hey, you don't look busy. You want to go clean the baseboards?" I'm like, "Hey,
Let me
this
tell you something
fucking
about
store
Tanya.
was built 6 months ago. I doubt there's much dirt on the fucking baseboards. You just want to boss people around is what you want because it's a fucking slow hour we're having at 3:00 in the afternoon."
Tanya had the fucking calves of like
Olympic fucking vaulter.
like the Sasquatch.
Okay.
Like
Whoa,
she
okay.
has Sasquatch like fucking calves.
Yeah.
Like she was a monster of a woman.
Can I tell you a story about Tanya that I overheard in high school?
Please tell me it's lewd.
Was that yes? It is lewd. She
my God.
had been visited upon by a male stripper at someone's bachelor party, in which she went home.
Well, hello, I'm Bo.
As when she went,
Bo's knocking.
as she went home with this fellow
Oh,
who was a
boy.
male stripper, who proceeded to have intercourse with her behind. To put it lightly.
I already don't believe it because
I'm
like,
just saying this is one of those things you hear.
who is
in a
paying
rumor.
Bo extra money?
Oh, you just don't believe Tanya and her beautiful calves couldn't attract a
Do you
stripper?
remember her face? What happened with that?
Is that what you're saying? Tanya, your face. What happened? Can you please tell me the story of which your face is to become this way?
It was a fucking train wreck.
Well, she was young. But guys.
Young, she was like 42.
I'm just saying this, man. You're a stripper guy, and some chick's like, you can put it in my butt. Maybe you go home with her.
Put it in my butt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a rare opportunity sometimes for a guy.
Tanya looked like what chicks looked like after they like hit that fucking pavement when they jump off the Empire State
I wonder if
Building.
we're talking about different bitchy managers.
We could be.
Because there were a lot.
There was a Heather.
I'm talking about Heather.
Oh,
Tanya was the old one, right?
Yeah, Tanya
Heather was like the college-aged
fucking
one.
grotesque, older one.
Yes. Heather was the one that was like a fucking...
Heather was actually like the type of woman.
What happened
that
to you to make you this way?
Heather, here's what I liked about Heather, actually. You would want to, like, fuck her and then, like, be ashamed about it afterwards.
Okay.
And you would have been like, God, you bitch. And
What? What is that? Okay, I know what you're saying, but when you say it, it sounds so weird. You're saying you'd be ashamed of being with her.
absolutely.
Well, I was saying Bo. Bo.
But she's
Bo
sitting
the
there.
stripper. Yep.
She's sitting there, and she's like all like sweating, grinding near the
What are you saying?
near the fucking
the fryers.
Fryers.
Over the hot fryers. Her skin is glistening.
He is tufting the hair back.
You writing a romance novel about being a teenager working at a McDonald's, and Heather with her glistening hair. Sorry.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Let me pull this right back around.
Sure.
What a slut.
Yeah. No, totally. And which is why the story about her receiving
I seriously
butt
like
sex
there was one
from a
time.
stripper
By
was
the way,
believable.
I'm not even dicking around.
Yeah.
There was one time when the rags needed to be washed.
The
Like,
rags. That's standard issue McDonald's rag. We need these rags.
There's like
I know
80
what you're saying.
fucking rags.
I know this fucking story.
There's like 80 rags.
And I want you to
They
tell
need to
it.
be like scribed and the baseboards and everything.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
I love your story about this.
Let me tell you something. There was a time.
This is why you don't have a high schooler do stuff. Go.
There was a time when Heather, she was like, "You'll wash the rags, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go do that." And I disappeared for like an hour, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
$5 of salary pay is gone.
Oh my god, I know.
It's
Criminal how low we were paid.
Cunt. Anyway,
Well, she was probably making $6 an hour. No,
I know,
like 10 maybe.
$6.50 at the most.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something though. I really thought about this afterwards.
Yep.
Because I came back and she wouldn't actually talk to me. She's like,
No. So what happened, Lance? That you're not explaining is that you went to go wash the rags and you went to the laundromat, threw them in the washer, and then hung out.
I read fucking video game magazines
for like an hour.
for an hour.
And then waited for them to get done in the washer, and then threw them in the dryer and hung out for the half hour. And then came back like, all right, rags are washed. And she was like, what the fuck?
But the point of my story is that I still would have like pulled my pud, you know.
Yeah.
I still would have like let her touch it, you know.
Well, the thing is,
And
though,
she would have been grateful.
So the thing is, though, and you're totally like right about that, is that, like when you're,
She would have been like, really? Can I have it?
there is a thing about
She
being.
would have loved it.
There's a thing about being like a 14, 15, 16-year-old boy
Fucking
where you're
great.
basically like, anybody, touch it, please. And it's like,
Boy,
it's
yeah.
It's just like you can't, you know what I mean? Like, totally, you would, yeah. But no,
I believe a White Snake has an album called Ready and Willing that seems to apply to the situation.
Please tell me about your worst job, though. I'll tell you about mine if you don't have it. Right
Absolutely fucking, and I don't even think I've even told you about this.
Sure.
4-H. Like,
wait, what?
There was a situation.
Wait, are you talking about 4-H as in like the like making like animals for high school?
Yeah, it's like people fucking brushing cows, being fucking losers.
Cow,
being like,
this fucking cow brushing
this
losers.
is first place. This means a lot to us. And I'm like, I'm sitting over there looking at them. I'm like, you're disgusting to me. No,
yeah. No, okay.
Had to be. You know what? Actually, part of that was fun though, because sometimes they like let me get into the cash register and
Did you embezzle?
No, that came later.
Yeah, sure.
But at the cash register, I kind of. It was like the action. It was almost like a blackjack table. You know?
Yeah.
You were caught into it a little bit.
Yeah. Wait, why was there a cash register? Was this like a 4-H like fundraiser? Like,
well,
where
they
you
always
like,
figure out some way to
like buy some cow pies
to have pancakes.
Okay,
for some
like a pancake
fucking
luncheon.
reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, like a breakfast on the farm fundraiser. For what?
No, absolutely, you're right. I mean, it's like why? These fucking farmers, by the way, they wake up at like 4:30 in the morning.
No.
There are not.
My grandparents were farmers, and I remember when we would go and visit them and stay over, they would be up and it would be like, it's dark out. And they're like, come up, get breakfast. It's 6 a.m.
That's normal for
and I'm
them.
like, I'm like 10. No, I want to sleep in. Fuck you.
You
Grandma.
are the hell of my life.
But I will eat your free. My grandma made great breakfast, so. But my grandma.
I
Man,
can't.
now, okay, we've been drinking Tom Collins, and now I'm like melancholy about my dead grandmother, and I'm like, man, she made.
That's what I did kind of want to lead you into your dead grandmother. You know,
You were ready. You set that trap down.
that was
No.
the thing. I was like, I think I can get him this
But
time.
like she used to make scrambled eggs. They were really good, and she ate them with ketchup, and I always ate them with ketchup because she like taught me. I know,
Disgusting.
that's where I get the habit from. And I remember she used to always make us like malted milkshakes too. Me and my brother. Like I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things that like you remember. Like I don't remember shit about my childhood, but I like remember distinctly ketchup and eggs and malted milkshakes, like from my grandmother. Like, and that is what made me the man I am today.
You know, like my memories to my grandma are just like basically the pinnacle of my existence as well. You know,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I remember the Packers playing the fucking Buccaneers on football on TV.
Yeah.
And she didn't even like know that much about the Packers, so then just like, let's go Pack.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Type of thing.
We gotta like the Packers.
And they had Warren Sapp, and he like knocked somebody's hip out. Like he got like so. Warren Sapp was such a dick that he like a play ended, and he like just tackled somebody after the play, and basically like caused what they said was a car crash type of injury to a Packer player.
Yeah.
This what was his name? Chad Clifton.
I don't fucking know.
I think that was his name.
Okay, that sounds.
I don't
like
care
football.
that much about who it was, but
That sounds like a football.
he
name.
basically like devastated a guy who was like, "Hey, the play's over," and then all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah.
This guy just wrecked his shit.
Yeah.
And I remember watching games, the Buccaneers games with my grandma, and she was just kind of like, shit. And she was just like, take another pull off that fucking old Milwaukee, you know? That was great. I mean, that was so great.
Yeah.
What a great memory.
Yeah. All right. My worst job, back to the topic, was when I was a telemarketer. That was the worst. Absolutely the worst thing.
Probably.
Can you imagine? And I know you can imagine it because everyone's like, oh, I hate telemarketers. Can you just imagine being on the other side? And here's how it worked. Is you would sit at a call station on a computer that was like fucking black and white screen because it was like not even Windows, and it'd be up there and it'd be like, oh no, it was Windows, but you had to open like a command prompt and it was like black and white text, and it would just be like, you'd sit there and wait with your headset in, and then it would like go bing, here's a call, here's the name, here's the script, and you just read the script off the thing and you fucking horribly mispronounce the name. And then you get like someone be like, fuck you, and they hang up on you. And you're like, all right. You wait 30 seconds to a minute, and you get another one. And you do the fucking same thing over and over again for 8 hours, and you want to fucking murder yourself. The only reason why that job was bearable is because my good friend Adam Ham also had the same job. And Hambino. And we sat next to each other, so we would just basically like, you know, talk to each other, and we actually have a giant book that we wrote kind of together where we would each pass off and write a paragraph to each other, or we would like shoot the shit and talk about video games while we're like fucking sitting there between calls. And then when he stopped working there, there was Petey, our other friend who we mentioned, who destroyed a guitar. He worked there, and we would spend the entire time pranking each other or other like fucking 15-year-olds, because we were like in college at that point, like 15-year-old kids who work there, and just pranking them and getting them yelled at by the supervisors.
Oh my god!
And that's the only reason it was bearable. And dude, I've never had a job where I gave less shits than my last year working at that telemarketer place. Was like, I remember just like going to the bathroom because it's like, what are they going to do? Fire me? It's a summer job. I don't give two shits about this job. Like, I remember one day, Petey had worked less hours than me. He worked 20 hours or 25 hours, and I worked 30 hours. So there was one afternoon where he would leave halfway through the day, and I would have to stay. And so many times I would just be like, I'm just going to clock out. And we would like go back and hang out. And he was just like, you want to go watch Clerks? Because he'd never seen Clerks. And he was like, yeah. And we went back and we watched fucking Clerks. And it was awesome. And I was like, I'm so glad.
I have
you
so
bring
many
this up. Fond memories of that job, though, too. But it was all not the job part. It was the friendships part.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think though that I've thought about this, and this even applies tonight, where I have a situation in my current job where it's like a 1 week notice type of thing, where I said, if I find a job, it's a 1 week notice and everything. And they're like, okay, good, whatever. I missed a couple calls. I was having a couple old fashions down the road.
Sure.
That's understandable, isn't it?
Sure.
Anyway, I showed up, and I was like, oh, we got 2 orders. Okay, I'll do those. A delivery type of job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we thought that you didn't care anymore. We thought that
we just thought you dropped it.
It was over. With those like little voice, that little chirpy fucking Japanese voice. We thought it was over.
Nope.
And I was like, no, it's a whole misunderstanding.
Yeah. It's funny.
So I took ultimately, like, I could not have cared less if it was over. Yeah. Like, I could sit and do nothing for 2 months.
Yeah.
3 months, 4 months. Mm-hmm. Have a great time.
Yeah.
That's something that I think our listeners could aspire to, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like a glorious apathy. I think that they could do that.
Yeah. You know what made my worst? You know what my worst job may have been was when I worked at a software.
I'm joking, by the way.
When I worked at a software company, at a job that I hated, that I got fired from for doing a poor job at because I hated it so much that I had panic attacks over because I was so bad at it. That was the worst job I probably ever had, actually.
How much time would we have left?
Very little. Why? What do you need?
Well, I was thinking that I could get deep into something.
Okay, we got time.
But I need another beer before we do that.
Okay. Do you want to just take a quick...
Let's take a quick break.
Quick break. All
right.
We're
getting into it.
Okay, we're back from our unscheduled second break, and we're joined by Lauren.
Hi.
Okay, my fiance.
Hi.
Say hey now, Lauren.
Hey now.
All right, we're out of cat food.
Out.
Basically, what's left in the bowls? What's
Getting
left?
into the squabbles of matrimony.
Yeah, I would have picked one up.
Yeah, I didn't. We were up here. I didn't have my phone. Okay, but anyway, Maurice's.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm wearing a shirt from Maurice's, and Lance complimented it, and I said,
and it still looks good.
Thank you.
Well done.
And I said, thank you. I got it at Maurice's. And then he said he went into Maurice's, and I said, but that's a ladies' store. Why?
It didn't always used to be that, though.
Yes, it did. It's always been a woman's
There were times
store.
where winter coats were purchased for my person from Maurice's.
I don't think that... Well, then you bought a lady coat. Because I
had a coat with the tight shoulders for a whole winter. I never noticed a difference.
And the buttons were on the wrong side.
Hey, Lance, you never know. As long as it keeps you warm,
Oh, my
God. It had, like, the darts for the boobs.
All right, but we were talking about worst jobs ever.
Oh.
Worst jobs you've ever had. And I had mentioned probably telemarketing. But then I thought about maybe the software company I worked at where I basically hated my job and life.
And I kind of mentioned like a little bit.
Yeah, you just mentioned a little bit about fast food, but not as maybe your worst job.
Before we get into my worst job, which you seem to have a better handle on than I do.
I just know.
Because I keep forgetting what that is.
But you have like so many that you've done.
Yeah, I know.
You're a vagabond. What about selling vacuum cleaners? What about going door to door to canvas?
Oh yeah, I forgot that you sold vacuum
I forgot that
cleaners.
too.
See? I know your worst
Before we
job.
get-
Wasn't
before
your
we
only
get-
customer your mom?
No, come
Fucking
on.
great.
No, don't embarrass the
That was
man.
fucking great.
You're just calling him out. Okay. Sorry.
Oh my god. That's
you
funny.
you just fucking dropped the mic, Lauren. All right. What? No, Lance. Worst job. Come on. Lauren's here.
I have mine.
Okay.
I had it, and then all of a sudden, like,
Lauren,
you
go.
fucking, like, Lauren just, like, dropped a bombshell on me, and I don't know what to fucking say anymore.
You wanted to talk about Madphone, I believe.
Oh my god.
The
I
the
feel
fake,
like
the
my-
fake company name we made up for the place that you both worked at.
Oh,
Madphone.
crap hell.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know what's scary about that place?
That's not my worst job.
It's not Lauren's worst job, but
Saptel. You know what's great about the place?
I called it crap hell.
I know, but
I like how he acknowledged it and he was like, nah, that's not the, I'm not going to use that.
it was well established. This was such a miserable experience working for those people.
I mean,
Had to
in
be
some ways, I get it. I did not enjoy that job, and it's up there with my worst jobs, but my worst job was worse.
really. Mm-hmm. Let me just explain a little bit before
what's
we get
crap
into
hell?
what you're possibly
Yeah,
is worse than.
you do your thing.
If a deaf person needs to, I worked there and I still don't quite understand what the fuck.
Maybe this is why this is your worst job. You don't even know how to do it.
Like,
No, I don't even know
I knew,
any of
I knew the deal. I was a lead.
Really?
Yeah, I was a lead.
I worked there for like 2 years. I was never. They're like, hey Lance, do you want to be a lead? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to be a lead. And they're like, no. They always
They
skip.
saw you,
They
they
was
saw you
like-
coming from a mile away.
They're like, oh, look at this schmuck.
You just
No.
give monitors.
Oh my
That's all
god.
you do as a lead.
Yeah.
And, like, kick it around.
Okay,
at
would
the
you stop
soup
using
desk.
fucking weird industry terms?
Yeah, you're right.
Kick a monitor around, give him the old 7.7, do the 6.5, give him the shuttlecock.
Give him the
A bad name
shuttlecock.
term.
Yeah. I don't know your fucking crap hell. Anyway.
Okay.
But Lance,
We have to explain what this job
what was your experience?
This job
deaf
is-
people called you.
It's
No.
deaf people.
It's okay, I'm just going to say.
I don't even know
It
what the
forgot-
fuck I
like,
did.
you
I was trying to explain what happened there, and
You
I
caption
can't.
calls. You caption calls for people that can't hear. So it's mostly old people.
That's why
talking
she's a
about
monitor, not me. By the way,
Yeah, lead, not a monitor.
did you know that I had a job interview where I was interviewed to get into the next level, and I said, and this was classic.
Wait, you're saying this is the torpedo that you shot at your chances?
Yes.
Okay.
They said, why do you think that you'd be a valuable contributor, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, I pretty much know how to do everything here, so why not?
I'm pretty much better at my job than you are,
I
so...
literally said that, and I didn't understand why that was a bad thing to say that at the time.
All right. You know.
Which is why Lauren went far further
Off
than...
the totem pole.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have lasting friends from that though?
Oh yeah. One of
Wow.
them's gonna be in our wedding.
Wow. Look at this, Lance. You're just like, you don't care. Check in, check out, just swipe my card, get my paycheck, I'm out. And Lauren's like, I met best friends there.
I did. and I met one of my best friends
Look
there.
at this.
That's cool.
You're just gonna slag off for best friend.
Well, women are different though.
Oh, ho, ho.
Okay.
They have those relationships where,
That's true.
like, you can meet another woman.
Have you ever
in,
tried
like,
to meet a guy?
Pure fucking misery.
You ever seen a guy try and make
situation?
friends with another guy he's never met before? It's impossible.
It's hard for women too, but we do.
Not as hard.
You guys
Yeah,
are both.
it's acceptable for women to compliment each other.
Yeah,
and I
we're guys. We
compliment
both
people
can't
a
talk
lot.
to each other.
Like, yeah, if somebody has clothes, like today, I complimented Lance's shirt. Like, if somebody has something that I like, I'm gonna compliment it.
Sure.
A fucking compliment.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Look at this.
Welcome. Oh, okay, we're friends.
All right, stop. Why was crap hell the worst job you've ever had?
Because I will tell you when it all destructed.
Okay.
Also, it's a lot of old people talking about their bowel movements.
That is a fact.
That is true. Did you have
I
a
had-
BM today?
No, that's what it is. I mean, like, a lot of the time, you get these, like, hard of hearing people, and they're like, how's your shit?
I think anyone says.
How's your shit, brah? I took a gnarly
I
deuce.
took a wicked shit today, bruh.
No, that's not the people that are on this, though. They're like, let's see. How was your shit? What? No, I'm kidding. They don't do that.
I will tell you
yeah.
before I get to my story, the funniest thing I ever heard was this one crazy broad who said, she goes, let me tell you something. There was a time when Johnny fucking like pointed a gun. I'm sorry for a second.
Excuse me? Where are you going with this?
I mean, I'll get there. I won't mess it up. Okay. Johnny pointed a gun at my face.
What? What?
Dude, I'm not fucking around.
This is the conversations that the people are having.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yep.
The conversation she's having is to a person who can't hear anything.
Yeah.
So she's reading all of it.
Okay.
That's the job.
Yep.
And she goes, so Johnny is over here. And if he thinks that I'm going to take any of his shit, he's out of his mind. Because I'm going to be cold and dead in the grave before I'm dead. He'll be dead first. And then she had this whole other spiel. And she said, what was it? It was like, she said, like it wasn't that far off from saying that it's gonna be a cold day in hell before Sylvia can't walk because she's been shot in the spine, bitch. Like, it was literally...
Are you talking about someone who's like negotiating like fucking a mob hit or
I
like
want to know.
threatening fucking a mob hit on someone?
was-
I want to know
very-
everything about these people.
Yeah.
I did too. I mean, like, it was very similar to, like, it got to that level where it was just kind of like, I wanted to... It was a 60-minute phone call, by the way.
Oh, I hated them.
Oh my god.
Which normally I didn't
No, I
like,
had, like, a
unless
2-hour
mob
one
hits
once.
being rubbed out was the subject matter. In which case, I was like,
In case it-
that's kind of
in which case
awesome.
it's like, dude, keep going.
Can I get the popcorn here? I want to hear. What does Silvio do? Was he in trouble with the
Somebody's
capo?
gonna fucking rub that bitch out. Anyway,
Yeah. Wow. Lauren, what was your worst job?
Okay, this is not going to be as interesting of a story.
Okay.
But my
yeah, I
worst,
kind of fumbled all around my shit, so you don't have to worry that much about it.
my worst job was when I worked at fucking Mary Maids as an office assistant. John
Okay.
remembers this.
At what was it called? Can you say it again as the fake name that it is?
Happy Maids.
Happy Maids. Okay. Yep. Go.
Happy Cleaners.
Happy Cleaners.
the
That
boss.
place doesn't even exist anymore.
No, because the boss. Yeah,
so it doesn't even matter.
Do you want to know why? The boss was completely incompetent and ran that branch into the ground.
Yeah.
And he was really racist and really sexist. And
Why was it the worst,
a bad
though?
person because of that.
Because it was that?
Because he was horrible and like really mean and made me like hate my life. And I was like, this isn't fucking worth it. So this isn't worth it for the $10.50 an hour I'm getting. So
yeah, to get berated.
Yeah, it
by
basically
some crazy person.
Yeah, when I'm like better at my job than he is at his job.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you were here earlier, but there was a situation where
sorry, go.
There was a situation where I slacked off enough during one of my deliveries when I finally. I just want to... It's a little callback here.
Yes, this is a callback to before we took a break.
I said, Mike, hello? On the phone. And they said, we weren't sure if you didn't care about deliveries anymore.
They thought he'd, like, quit, basically.
They thought that I just, fucking wandered off and just did nothing else with my life. Or whatever. Where... You know what the punchline to this is? Yeah. They're not that off. Like, it could have happened.
Yeah. That could have been what happened.
I could have actually just, but I could have just sat there.
I got another question for you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Your car got stolen so many times.
So many times. Okay,
Lance, I got a question for you. How is your worst job not the job in which you had to sue someone to get paid? How is that?
But that was like 2 weeks, though.
I forgot about
that. That wasn't like a big thing.
So I just wanted, we probably have talked about this in the podcast before, but Lance worked at like a sandwich shop, which does not exist anymore because of how
those sandwiches gave me diarrhea.
Probably.
And Lance was like, I'll deliver for you. And then basically, when he wasn't delivering, they're like, we need you to mop up. And Lance was like,
I like
no.
that Lauren ate there the 2 weeks that they were open.
Yeah.
I did.
And Lance was like, no, I'm not going to fucking mop. I'm your delivery guy. And the guy's like, well, you're fired then, and we're not going to pay you.
They made me sit there, actually.
Yeah.
They said like,
well,
you can't go out on order because, you fucked with us. And so basically, I was in purgatory.
Yeah.
And there was a point where I sat in, a chair that had, the wheels and everything on it.
Oh, wheelchair.
Oh.
That's what they're called, Lance.
I like it.
Sorry.
And I did that, and...
Whoa. You were sitting in a chair with the wheels? Oh, you're talking about, just an office chair?
Yeah. And they said, basically, you're done. It's over.
Yeah.
Sit there. And...
on timeout?
Basically.
Okay, yep.
And so I did that, and then they were like, hey, we need you to do an order. What the fuck? This shit is late. It was so dumb. It was so stupid.
But, you left, right? Without giving a 2-week notice or whatever. Because that was just a fucking shit show.
That just showed the evolution of my character. Because, my current position...
Yeah.
They are concerned that I may just wander off.
Yeah.
and never return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Lance. I think we need to wrap it up. We're at time here. Don't worry, Lance may just wander off at any moment. So we need to wrap it up while he's still here. So,
all right.
Thanks for listening. Did you have any final words of wisdom, Lance, before we cut it off here? You know what my word of wisdom is? If you don't like your job, find another one.
Yep, you don't have to stay there.
Or no, I disagree. I think you should lazily
half-ass it.
You should just wander off. Sit in your chair.
Like an Alzheimer patient who just disappears and kind of
I went out
all of a sudden they're found all dehydrated out in the forest.
Yeah. Do that.
It's horrible.
Don't do that.
No, that's bad.
Yeah.
We're not actually wanting to be dehydrated in the forest, but at the same time,
That's just a little Lance survival tip. Don't be dehydrated in the forest. It's a bad idea. You're gonna have a bad time in the forest if you're dehydrated. Well, we've got to wrap this up though because we're at time here.
all
so,
right.
thanks for listening.
That's an all-time classic, I think.
The all-time classic, certified.
Yeah.
Lance Go.
Thanks
Oh,
to Lauren, though,
Lance,
mainly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Came
you
in late in the
for hopping
game.
on. We're at borninthE80s.net is the website. You can
.net.
read Lance making fun of Led Zeppelin there if you want, or other
Caught some
short
amount
articles.
of flack on that one.
And leave an angry comment because he'll reply. But thanks for listening, and we will be back the next time we do one of these, probably next month. So thank you for listening.
James Bond orders the fucking shittiest drink ever.